Welcome back, it's Jason Walter here. I noticed that Redfin posted yesterday that some of the areas where we've seen the hottest housing markets over the past couple of years have also been the areas where home prices have increased the most, of course, right? But according to Redfin, these areas are at the greatest risk of a housing market downturn if we go into a recession. And according to Redfin, here are the areas at greatest risk of a housing market downturn if we go into a recession. So number one is actually in Riverside, California. That's approximately an hour to an hour and a half east of Los Angeles. Number two is Boise, Idaho. That was followed by Cape Coral, Florida, Northport, Florida, Las Vegas, Nevada, and Sacramento, California. In contrast, though, Akron, Ohio has the lowest chance of a housing market downturn. So in today's video, I actually thought it'd be fun to kind of go over the latest housing market trends in Riverside, California, Boise, Idaho, Las Vegas, Nevada, Sacramento, and Akron, Ohio. And by the way, if you guys have any suggestions about other areas you want me to cover, then please leave me a comment below. And of course, if you guys get any value of today's video whatsoever, then please hit the like button. I greatly appreciate that. Also consider subscribing as well. I post frequent housing market updates so you guys can be more informed. So with that said, let's go ahead and look at Riverside, California with the latest housing market trends on Redfin's website here. So let's have a look at new listings. And by the way, I have not looked at the latest trends for these cities here, so I thought it'd be fun to kind of look at it in real time here. But in Riverside, California, new listings are actually down 12.7% compared to 2019 and 2021. The black line right here is 2022, blue line here is 2019, and here's 2021. So they have less listings in Riverside, California compared to last year. So let's have a look at active listings. Active listings in Riverside. So active listings are actually up 22.49%. So that's pretty remarkable. They have less new listings, but they have more active listings. So in other words, a new listing is when a home seller lists their house for sale. And of course, an active listings is housing inventory, the total number of houses for sale at any given time. So they have 22.5% more active listings compared to now, despite the fact they have less new listings. So in other words, Riverside is potentially seeing a pullback in home buying demand, and that's what's causing active listings to increase, and it's not coming from a giant increase of new listings, for example. So let's have a look at pending home sales. A pending home sale is when a home seller accepts an offer from a home buyer. Pending home sales, look at that, down 23.23% compared to this time last year. So a big decrease ever since April, really. And that's pretty in line with a lot of cities I'm seeing, because ever since mortgage rates hit approximately 5% on average across the United States, that really caused a housing market shift in our housing market across the United States. So they're seeing us pull back in demand because they're seeing less contracts signed by 23%. They're seeing less new listings, but active listings have been increasing. So the increase of active listings is really from a pullback in home buying demand as less contracts have been signed. So because of this, let's have a look at price drops in Riverside. So price drops is when a home seller drops their asking price. Wow, look at that, in order to attract a home buyer. Wow, the percent of active listings with price reductions right now, 8.1%. Look at this compared to 1 year ago. So 1 year ago, the share was approximately 2.7%. Wow, that's mind-blowing. So 2.7% 1 year ago, and now it is 8.1%. That's a giant increase in a short period of time. Also well above 2019's levels as well. And again, you have to multiply this number by 4 for whatever reason in order to get the approximate share of price drops by month. So according to Redfin here, so approximately 32% of active listings by month in Riverside, California have had price reductions far higher than 2019 or 2021. So clearly a lot of home sellers have to reduce their asking prices in order to attract a home buyer. So I'm guessing home prices have started to decrease potentially. Let's have a look at this. So here's the median asking price. Yes, okay, it's still up 10.7% compared to 1 year ago. Obviously far higher than 2019 though. $560,000 is the median sold price over the past 4 weeks in Riverside. But compared to this time in 2019, it was under $400,000, about $383,000. So a big increase in home prices in basically 3 years. So take a look at this though, because right now they're up 10.7%, but back in the spring months, they were actually up about 20 to 21%. So even though home prices are up about 10% or almost 11% in Riverside, it's far less than the gains they have early this year. What's interesting about this as well, even though the asking prices have been going down, I mean, not a whole lot, basically down from $580,000 now down to $560,000. So even though the median asking prices are going down, they're still seeing price reductions actually absolutely shooting up. So let's have a look at houses that actually have sold though. Again, a lagging indicator. So actually houses have been decreasing in price as well. So the peak was really in around April and May when the median sold price was $577,000. Now it has decreased to $555,000. So an 8% gain compared to 1 year ago, whereas it was approximately 20% back in April and May of this year. All right, so that was Riverside, California, but let's have a look at Boise, Idaho, because there's some pretty big changes here. So take a look at this. New listings absolutely skyrocketing. Look at that, up 73.5% compared to 1 year ago. That's absolutely insane. Wow. So far higher than 2019, also 2021 as well. So let's have a look at active listings, because if new listings have basically been skyrocketing, up 73%, I'm guessing active listings are increasing as well. So in other words, this is housing supply. Yeah, so actually surpassed 2021's levels right now. So we have 3.98% more active listings in Boise compared to 1 year ago. But look at the change here though, because yes, that's not a big difference percentage-wise compared to 1 year ago. But look at back in, let's see, February and April. Look at that. Wow. Okay, so February and April, they basically had about 43% less active listings in Boise compared to 2021. What a difference though. Look at that. So 42% ever since the middle of April, the percentage has basically been decreasing greatly. And now they actually have more houses for sale now compared to 1 year ago. So pretty big difference there. Inventory basically going straight up here. So I'm guessing pending home sales have been decreasing greatly as well. Oh, they don't actually have that information. I don't know why they don't have that information. So let's have a look at price drops for Boise. Price reductions, look at that. Wow. So price reductions right now, 17.4% is the share of price reductions by week. Again, I don't know why you have to do this, but for whatever reason, Redfin actually emailed my colleague and said, you do have to multiply this by 4 in order to get the average share. So wow. So approximately 70% of active listings in Boise have had price drops. So 7 every 10 houses have to reduce their asking prices in order to sell their houses. That's pretty crazy. So 70%, absolutely insane. So 17.4% right now. 1 year ago at this time, it was 7%. So it went from 7% to 17% in 1 year. Absolutely insane. That's crazy. So a big shift in their housing market there. So I'm guessing that home prices have probably softened as well. Let's take a look at this. No, so that's why they're seeing this giant increase. What's going on here? They're seeing this giant increase of price reductions, but the median asking price has been going up. So we're seeing a lot of overzealous home sellers thinking their houses are worth far more than they are, because the asking prices for houses for sale have been increasing ever since the middle of June, really. So that's pretty remarkable. So they're basically up 8.62% compared to 1 year ago. But compared to February and March of this year, it was around 20%. So they have far less price gains compared to February and March of this year, but still up and moving in the opposite direction. And this is why we're seeing this giant increase of price reductions in Boise. I'm guessing that the median sold price is declining. Let's have a look at this. Just a guess. It has. Okay, so as of, let's see, the 4 weeks ending May 29th, the median sold price in Boise was $550,000. That was an 18% increase from 1 year ago. And now it's 550. Now it's only 525,000, only a 10% gain from 1 year ago. So a pretty big difference there. It really goes to show that in an area where price reductions are basically skyrocketing and we're seeing an increase in the asking prices, obviously that's telling us that home buying demand is decreasing, and that's why we're seeing this giant amount of price reductions here. But this is really telling because this is a houses actually have sold, right? So the median sold price has been decreasing. But I always say this, it's nice to see that home prices have basically decreased by, $25,000. But right now, $525,000. Back in 2019, let's have a look at this. In 2019, it was $311,000 was the median sold price. It increased up to $525,000 in 3 years. Absolutely insane. And I'll see, even though home prices have decreased $25,000, that's really minuscule compared to the giant gains in home prices compared to 2019. Okay, that was Boise, Idaho, but let's have a look at Las Vegas, Nevada. Then we'll have a look at Sacramento, California, where I live and work as a real estate agent, and then Akron, Ohio, the least susceptible for home prices to decrease if we go into a recession, according to Redfin here. Let's have a look at Las Vegas though. So Las Vegas, take a look at this. So Las Vegas right now only have an increase of new listings by 6.4% compared to 1 year ago. So higher compared to 2021 and also 2019, but not by a whole lot, only up by 6.4%. Let's have a look at active listings though. This is, wow, look at that. Isn't that crazy? So new listings only are up, 6.4%. But even though new listings are up by such a small amount, look at the giant increase of active listings. Look at that, up 45.99%. So basically up 46% in Las Vegas right now, which is crazy. I mean, look at January 1st of this year. Let me move this down a little bit. So January 1st this year, they had a decrease of active listings by 27%. So on January 1st of this year, they had about 27% less houses for sale compared to the same time period in 2021. But what a reversal though, look at that. So basically it decreased, it was flat for a while, and then it surpassed 2021's levels, and now are far higher than 2021 as well. That's pretty remarkable. Let's have a look at pending home sales though, because that's probably been going down. Yeah, look at that, wow. How crazy is that? So basically ever since May-ish, pending home sales have been tanking. So right now they have 41% less pending home sales compared to this time last year. That's absolutely crazy. I mean, far lower than the past couple of years as well. So clearly in Las Vegas, they're seeing a strong pullback in home buying demand because active listings have been increasing greatly. Again, up 46% about, but new listings have not been increasing greatly though. So this giant increase of active listings is due to a pullback in pending home sales. In other words, a pullback in home buying demand. Therefore, if I had to guess, the price reductions are probably through the roof as well. Look at that. Wow. So, wow, 11.6% is a share of active listings with price reductions right now. But compare that to 2021 at this time, it was only 3.6%. That's nuts. So 1 year, it went from 3.6% all the way up to 11.6% in one single year. That's pretty astonishing. Let's have a look at home prices though. So the median asking price, take a look at this. So home prices still up 16.4% compared to 1 year ago. So basically, home prices have basically been flat ever since April-ish. But back in April, look at those gains, up 26% compared to 1 year ago. Now it's only up 16%. This right here is one main reason why we're seeing this giant increase of price reductions in Las Vegas. Home sellers have not gotten the memo that the housing market is shifting right now, especially in Las Vegas here. So let's have a look at median sold prices. So houses actually sold, look at that. So the median sold price was up 24% for the 4 weeks ending June 19th. And now it's only up, I'd say only 16%. So home prices have basically decreased from a high of $456,000 to now $435,000. So this is a clear sign right here that home buying demand is decreasing. But again, obviously a step in the right direction that home prices have decreased by a small amount over the past couple of months here. But when you compare the 2019, $435,000 right now, the median sold price in 2019, $285,000. Next, let's have a look at Sacramento, California, where I live and work as a real estate agent. We're seeing a lot of price reductions in Sacramento, a big increase of active listings as well. But let's have a look at the latest trends because this is actually just updated a few days ago. So new listings are actually down 14% in Sacramento. This is also the metro area, so I assume this only includes the city of Sacramento. In any case, new listings are down 14%. Let's look at active listings though. Active listings, yeah, wow, look at that. So active listings are actually up 37.78% compared to 2021 at this time. So a big increase. Whereas at the start of this year, all the way until basically February and March of this year, we basically had the same number of active listings compared to 1 year ago. But ever since mortgage rates hit about 5%, look at that, active listings have been shooting up greatly. And I'm guessing it's due to a pullback in home buying demand like we've been seeing here. And yes, as you can see here, ever since March and April this year, pending home sales have been decreasing. So right now, look at that, down 32% compared to 2021. And this is a sign that home buying demand is definitely pulling back. So let's have a look at price drops. So price reductions in Sacramento. Yeah, look at that. Basically going straight up. 12.5% is a share of price reductions in Sacramento. Whereas, it's back in the middle of April, we basically had the same share of price drops compared to 2019. But what a difference. I mean, look at the trend line here, basically going straight up, whereas in 2021, it went up, but it basically plateaued and went down again. So anyways, it'd be interesting to see what happens for the rest of this year though. But a 12.5% share of price drops right now by week, that is a 50%. So this means that all the houses listed for sale, approximately 50% of them have had price reductions. In other words, half of the houses listed for sale have to reduce their asking prices in order to attract a home buyer in Sacramento. So that's pretty remarkable, a big increase compared to the past couple of years. Let's look at the median asking price though. Look at that. This is why we're seeing this giant increase of price reductions again. Overzealous home sellers. People are not getting the memo that the housing market has been shifting because asking prices have basically been plateaued ever since May. Let's have a look at median sold prices though. Houses actually have sold. Yes, they have been decreasing ever since basically the beginning of May. So back then, the median sold price was up 15% compared to 1 year ago. We basically started the year basically the same as well, up 15%. And now home prices are only up 7% compared to the same time period last year. So one thing I noticed when I was playing around with this website here for Sacramento, have a look at this because this is the average sale to list price ratio. In other words, if the ratio is 1, that means on average, home sellers sold their houses for their asking price. If this percentage is 104%, that means that home sellers sold their houses for 4% higher than their asking price. And in contrast, any number less than 100% means that home sellers sold their houses for less than their asking price. So let's have a look at the latest trends right now though. So for the 4 weeks ending July 24th, the ratio is basically 100%. So on average, home sellers selling their houses for approximately what they're asking for. But have a look at this because at this time in 2021, our housing market was absolutely insane. Back in 2021 at this time, the share was approximately 104%. So at this time last year, home sellers were selling their houses for about 4% more than the asking price. And now they're selling for their asking price. But this trend line has been decreasing ever since May of this year. So it's going to be very interesting to see what this looks like in the next few months. And with that said, of course, I'll definitely keep you posted regarding that. So that's Sacramento, California. Let's have a look at Akron, Ohio. And again, according to Redfin here, Akron, Ohio has the lowest chance of a housing market downturn if we go into a recession. And by the way, home prices have only increased by 7.9% compared to 1 year ago, whereas in Riverside, California, up 21%, Boise, Idaho, up 30.9%, Las Vegas and Sacramento up around 19%. So let's have a look at Akron, Ohio right now and the latest housing market trends here, because it should be a lot different than these other cities I went over. So new listings are actually down 8.4% compared to the same time period in 2021. One thing I want to mention though is that they only have 282 new listings. So I'm guessing that this metro area probably doesn't have a whole lot of activity. So the stats here could be a little bit skewed. But let's continue here and have a look at the latest trends here. So active listings, again, new listings are down. Active listings are also down as well, down 17% compared to 2021 and far below 2019's levels as well. Let's have a look at price reductions in Akron, Ohio. So right now the share is 6.8% there. Compared to 1 year ago, it was only 4.3%. So still a fair amount of price drops compared to the previous years. But let's have a look at home prices here. So the median asking price in Akron, Ohio right now is up 10.77%. Look at that. Wow, the median listing price is only $196,000. I'm so used to home prices to be, $800,000 plus in California here. So yeah, 196,000 up 10.77%. But look in April and May of this year, up about 15 to about 17%. So the increases right now only 10.77%, but still much higher compared to the past couple of years. The median sold price just under $200,000. And last year it was $177,000, and in 2019 it was $159,000. So that's asking prices for houses in Akron, Ohio. Let's have a look at median sold prices though. So sold prices are going up. That's interesting. So the only area where we're seeing home prices or home sold prices increase. So actually up 9% year over year to $214,000. 1 year ago, it was $196,000, and back in 2019, it was approximately $160,000. So with that said, what do you guys think about today's video? Do you want me to make more videos like these? Also, do you guys have any suggestions about other areas you want me to cover? If you guys got any value of today's video whatsoever, then please hit the like button. I greatly appreciate that. Hope you guys have an awesome day, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video.